It's been clearly wonderful, and she's like a piece of heaven. A quiet royal hall. A little girl in a dress walks toward a grand piano. No, one thought she could play, because she wasn't supposed to. But when she did, everyone was stunned jaw, dropping, cheers erupting, the world noticing. This is the story of how Princess Charlotte amazed everyone after being told she couldn't. Born into a crown, not just a crowd. Princess Charlotte entered a world with her life already mapped out. Every detail was controlled: her clothes, her smile, her daily routine. Nothing was left to chance. From an early age, royal children learn the ways they must act, walk, and speak. Their lives are shaped to match the image of the crown. Most children wake up to play, but Charlotte trained instead. While others watched cartoons, she practiced how to wave. While some jumped around the house, she learned to sit straight with her hands in her lap. That's how it works in the royal family. People expect calm behavior and perfect posture. Dreams and hobbies usually come second. As third in line for the throne, Charlotte had a role. She was to support her older brother, Prince George. She needed to follow royal rules and stay true to tradition. She was taught to be polite, quiet, and ready to shine in the spotlight. There was no room for passions like art or music. Those were seen as fun but not necessary. Inside the palace, most staff saw music as a hobby, not a real career. They believed music was just a nice extra, not something serious. They wanted Charlotte to focus on her public duties. Playing instruments was not part of the plan. No one encouraged her to learn. But Charlotte noticed music on her own. She picked up sounds quickly. By age 3, she showed she loved rhythm. She tapped on windows when it rained. She clapped along with the TV. She danced in the hallway to radio songs. She hummed little tunes as she went down the stairs. Kate and William saw this happen. They saw her face light up when music played. She could hear a sound once and hum it later. She loved sounds. Music made her happy and calm at the same time. But in her world, fun often had to wait. Music was rarely a topic in royal meetings. When Kate mentioned piano lessons, staff quickly dismissed them. They said it wasn't the right time. Other matters needed attention. Someone reportedly told them, "It's just a hobby, not a priority." That was the general mood in the palace. Their main goal was to prepare Charlotte as a future royal, not an artist. Playing the piano didn't seem to fit their plans for her. Still, Charlotte never forgot her love for music. Every time she saw a piano, her eyes lit up. She'd walk over and gently press the keys. When no one watched, she'd pretend to play. She tapped on tables, her lap, or even her books. She created simple rhythms by herself. It was like she was practicing in her mind without an actual instrument. One day at a family event, she sat quietly by a piano and started tapping softly. A staff member nearby said, "She's not training for the Royal Albert Hall." They said it with a smile. But the message was clear. They didn't expect her to take music seriously. They thought it would be just a cute distraction. Charlotte asked for lessons more than once. She showed interest each time she could. Her love for music was obvious, but every time she brought it up, the idea was pushed aside. Other things took priority: school, public events, the schedule. Music wasn't part of the plan. Still, Charlotte kept going on her own. She found ways to learn in her quiet space. She watched TV and tried to copy what she saw. She listened closely to sounds around her, tapping her fingers. She acted like she was already playing. She played without instruments, notes, or noise, yet the music lived in her head and heart. She wasn't trying to defy rules. She still played her part. She smiled in public and did her royal wave. But in her quiet moments, her mind turned to music. It became part of her. It gave her freedom. Even when everything else seemed scheduled, music stayed inside her. Those around her saw what was happening. Kate especially paid attention. She noticed how focused Charlotte became when music played. Her calm look while tapping rhythms, and her relaxed body when hearing melodies. At first, it didn't seem like much. Charlotte was just a little girl who loved piano keys she couldn't reach. But something had started. A small spark had lit. slowly growing stronger. The palace didn't plan for this. No one expected her to follow a musical path. Sometimes the deepest parts of a person start in silence, in tiny moments like small taps on a table. Even though the doors to formal lessons seemed closed, someone was already holding the key. Charlotte's love for music was just waiting to grow. Even in secret, she was breaking the silence. Inside the palace, things were quiet. Still, her love for music grew each day. Kate saw it clearly. She watched her daughter's happiness when she tapped or hummed. Kate knew Charlotte needed more than royal lessons. She needed music. Quietly, she decided to find a piano teacher. She asked them to come in secretly. There was no big talk about it. No one outside the family knew. The teacher entered through a side door, and lessons happened in a small, quiet room where no one would disturb. From the very first day, it was obvious that Charlotte had a special talent. She learned quickly and remembered notes easily. When the teacher played a sound, Charlotte's fingers moved smoothly. Though she was still young, she smiled while she played. It didn't seem like work to her. Playing came naturally. Was surprised to see how fast she progressed. Charlotte wasn't just trying hard. She was truly learning. She listened carefully and asked smart questions. Each week, she improved. She could play longer pieces and added emotion to her music. Kate felt proud. Sometimes she stayed nearby during lessons or watched from a distance. Prince William also stopped by now and then. He would quietly stand in the doorway. Listen then. Leave. People who knew the family said he was moved by the scene. It reminded him of his mother, Princess Diana, who also played piano when she was young. Charlotte's lessons stayed secret and quiet. She practiced in small rooms, early mornings, or just before bed. Her favorite spot was a music room at the back of the palace. Piano there was old, but she loved how it sounded. That room became her special place. She worked on many pieces, slow and gentle ones, fast and tricky ones too. She managed both with ease. Her teacher started giving her more difficult songs. Charlotte didn't complain. She enjoyed the challenge. Playing music made her feel calm and helped her concentrate. Only a few people knew she played. The palace staff didn't talk about it, and the public had no idea. Still, she kept growing as a musician. She wasn't playing for praise. She played for herself. Then came an unexpected turn. The family had planned a small charity event for friends and supporters. There would be food, speeches, and soft music in the background. A professional pianist was set to perform, but on the morning of the event, things went wrong. The pianist canceled, couldn't make it because of traffic or weather delays. No backup plan was in place. The music part might have been cut. Charlotte overheard the talk and quietly approached her mom. She said, "I can do it." She didn't shout or beg. She spoke with confidence. Kate hesitated because it was a big event with lots of adults, cameras, and media. But she looked at Charlotte and gave a small nod, a quiet yes. The word spread quickly inside. Some people weren't sure what to think. But Kate had decided, and Charlotte was ready. She arrived wearing a simple blue dress. Her shoes were neat, her hair pulled back. She looked calm and focused. She walked steadily to the piano. The room grew quiet. She sat down and placed her hands gently on the keys. She took a breath and started playing. Her music was smooth and clear. Every note sounded just right. The room listened in silence. Charlotte played confidently, and her music filled the space with ease. She moved without rushing or waiting too long. Her hands glided over the keys with gentle precision. It was as if her fingers had become part of the piano. Her face looked calm and at peace. The room remained silent the entire time. No one shifted or whispered. Everyone watched quietly. When she finished the last note, there was a brief pause. Then applause broke out. Few people stood up. Some appeared surprised. Others seemed proud. One guest near the back had recorded everything. What happened next would catch everyone off guard, including Charlotte herself. The notes echoed through the grand hall, shaking the space. The lighting stayed soft and warm. Guests lingered, talking in hushed tones. Some held drinks. Others gazed at the paintings on the walls. It was a typical royal gathering, quiet and orderly. Then suddenly, everything changed. Charlotte approached in a powder blue dress. She didn't run or flash a big smile. She moved slowly with small, careful steps. All eyes turned toward her. Some looked confused. No one had mentioned she would perform. She reached the large, shiny piano in the corner. Pulling out the bench, she sat down. Her feet didn't quite reach the floor. She placed her hands on the keys. After a moment, she looked up, took a soft breath, and started to play. The first note sounded clear and strong. Then the next followed. The room hushed completely. Her music flowed smoothly like gentle water. Each note was played with care. Her fingers stayed firm, her back straight. She knew this piece well. She didn't stop or slow down. Every sound felt warm and full. She kept going. No one made a sound. Even the waiters stood silent. Her music filled the air as if it belonged there. When she finished, her fingers lifted. From the keys, the last note lingered a moment in the quiet. Then applause started small but quickly grew. Few clapped, then many more. Some people stood up, smiling wide. A few looked stunned. Charlotte nodded softly, stood, and walked back to her family. Someone had filmed the entire performance. That night, they shared the video online. It was a simple clip. No edits, no fancy titles. It spread quickly. People on social media watched, liked, and shared it. Soon, many others joined in. In less than a day, the video reached over 3 million views. Comments poured in from everywhere. People called her talented. Many said she played with real heart. Some said her hands moved like magic. On TikTok, users added filters and remixed the video. Some played it along with their own clips. Others used it for dance routines or calming music. Music teachers responded. 2. They praised her control and timing. One said, "She plays like she understands the meaning behind each note." Another remarked that her hands looked like someone with years of experience. Celebrities quickly took notice. Several well-known musicians shared her clip. One offered her a free lesson at his studio. Another said she had a true talent. Music schools reached out with invitations to visit or learn with them. All this happened in less than 2 days. The palace staff were caught off guard. How? The performance was not part of the official schedule. There had been no announcement. Some wondered if it was allowed. Others found it charming, even a bit chaotic. The palace responded swiftly. They sent out a brief message to the press. It explained that Charlotte's performance was a planned surprise, they said. The family wanted to keep it quiet until then. It was meant to be a small, private moment, not a headline. But insiders told a different story. They said the whole event was sparked by Charlotte herself. Al, she had volunteered to play, and Kate had agreed. No one imagined it would turn into a global story. It was not a stunt. It was real, and that's why it touched so many. Charlotte gave a fresh look at the royal family, shared something honest and personal, showed that royals have talents. And dreams too. She proved they are human. People began talking about her. They wanted more real moments, more talent, more truth. Teachers told students about her story. Parents encouraged their kids to try new things, just like Charlotte. Music teachers showed the video in class saying, "Look what's possible when someone believes in you." Even inside the palace, minds began to change. Staff started seeing children differently. They talked about giving them more space to grow, more time for art and music, more chances to find their voice. Charlotte became a quiet influence. She didn't shout or demand attention. She simply played her song. Yet it reached many in ways few things do. Some called her the most emotionally strong royal of her age. Others said she might shape the future of the monarchy not with rules but with kindness. She showed the world what happens when someone is heard. That one simple song could change everything for her and her family. The sound of change was in the air. After her piano video went viral, more people kept talking about it. It became more than a small moment. Her quiet performance sparked something bigger. Across the country, many shared her clip. They also shared what it meant to them. Some felt proud. Some found hope. Others wondered what the royal family could be. For a long time, royals followed the same old path. They smiled, waved, stood still. People expected them to seem perfect. Charlotte's story broke that pattern. She showed genuine heart. She expressed happiness and showed that even royals can break the rules. Parenting blogs shared her story with families, calling it a great example of a child's potential when given a chance to grow. During TED Talks, speakers mentioned her, saying her music reminded everyone that every child has something special to offer. In Parliament, a British MP stood up and praised her courage. He said her decision to perform in front of so many people was brave and thanked her for showing kindness and strength without words. Letters soon arrived at the palace. Many parents said their kids started playing piano after watching Charlotte. One mother shared that her shy daughter had never wanted to perform in public. But after seeing Charlotte, she asked for a piano and began learning her first song. Another parent said, "My child feels seen now." Charlotte showed that trying, even when others don't expect it, is okay. She offered more than just music. She gave children the conviction to dream. She gave them quiet permission to pursue what they loved. The palace watched all this unfold. First they were surprised. The performance wasn't planned. Yet they saw how people around the world praised Charlotte. They could not ignore her impact. So the palace chose to welcome it. Charlotte was asked to perform again, first at a small family event, then at a local kids' fundraiser. These were simple performances, not big shows, but they mattered a lot. Each time Charlotte sat at the piano, played from her heart, and touched those in the room, she was still young, quiet, and humble. Much or act like a star. She played simply because she loved it. People could feel that. Her story began changing views about the royal family. Some thought they were becoming more open, more real. Charlotte helped lead this change by simply being herself. Alice? Inside the palace, new ideas started to grow. Staff began to support music, dance, art, and creative activities. These things now had a place. More young royals took lessons, and more time was set aside for hobbies. The rules were still there, but the walls felt less strict. Charlotte didn't set out to change anything. She just did what made her happy. Still, her actions spoke loudly. Many said she brought something new and fresh. They called her a modern royal, quiet but genuine. She helped the royal family become more real. It's not just about old rules and traditions, but also about music, feelings, and quiet bravery. Charlotte showed being royal today doesn't mean standing still. It means sharing your story. She proved that kindness, talent, and heart can grow, along with crowns and titles. She played when no one expected and changed everything. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tap like if you believe every child deserves the chance to shine. No matter if they wear a crown. Don't forget to subscribe for more royal stories you won't see coming.